Original. Original bad man, mash up the place. Then a bad man, mash up the place. Original bad man, a bad man, mash up the place. Then a bad man, mash up the place.
Just say no.
Original bad man, mash up the place. Then a bad man, mash up the place.
Just say
Original bad man, mash up the place. Then a bad man, mash up the place.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As you can see, I'm going to be doing 2 feed-in braids. I haven't done braids in a long time, and as some of you may know, I used to be a braider primarily. So I thought, you know what, my hair has some length now. I am going to, make myself look 16 again. So I'm starting off by parting my hair down the middle. And I am just going to use some edge control. The edge control I'm using is Cream of Nature Argan Oil Perfect Edges. And I'm going to use the edge control to slick down my hair. And I'm going to try and get it throughout most of my hair. So all the way directly down the middle part. And I'm also adding some to the sides here. And this is going to make for a nice sleek braid. The hair that I'm using is RUWA. It's a pre-stretched hair, 30 inches. And it comes with 2 pieces of like 2 bundles of braiding hair, but I'm going to use these 2 to do 1 braid. So in total, I'm using 2 packs of this. It's very hard for me to describe what I'm going to be doing, so please bear with me. But before I start braiding, I'm going to pre-separate each of the strands because, like I mentioned, I'm doing feed-ins. So I'm just making small, medium, and large sections. So I'm not going to be showing that in too much detail, but that's what I basically did. Here I'm just combing the edge control further into my hair because I really want it to lay down as flat as possible. And I did relax my hair before doing this, so it's helping it lay down a lot better. So to start the braid, I'm starting without any extensions. I'm just taking the very front of my hair, and I'm starting with a cane roll, with a traditional corn roll, cane roll, or however you might refer to it. So after I started it, I took the smallest piece that I've sectioned off and I add it to my braid. And I'm doing my feed-ins by tucking the strand of hair under my index finger and then braiding. And then once I finished the braid, I tuck the other end under my index finger. So that's pretty much how I know how to describe it. But just look and pay attention. And if this is something that you're not familiar with, maybe just watching it will help you pick up the idea of a feed-in braid. So I'm going to continue that same motion throughout the entire braid. So each time I braid, I'm either tucking the first end of the extension under my index finger, or it's either the second end. I hope that makes sense. So I'm putting it in the middle, and then I'm tucking in one side under my index finger, braiding, right, just to make sure it's locked in. And then once I come back around, I'm going to tuck the second part under my index finger again. Okay, so that's my method for feed-in braid. And yeah, I'm just going to continue from there. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This wasn't my first attempt at, doing the feed-in braid on this side. I had to do it about 3 times because my hands were getting super tired and I wasn't able to maintain the grip. And with the feed-in braids, for me, once you let go of the braid, all the pieces slowly start trickling out, and I wasn't able to re-grip it. So this was probably my 3rd attempt, but once I got used to it all over again, and I just maintained my grip, everything just went smooth from there. So I was actually pretty impressed with myself. Look how beautiful the braid is coming along. And I also find that the edge control really helps with, making your hair not so thick. It kind of thins it for you. I don't know if that makes sense. Not in a bad way, but in a good way to where your hair is manageable. So I'm just continuing and I'm going all the way down now. And just to add some length, I add more braiding here into the end just to give myself the length that I need. So I'm doing the same feed-in method that I would use on the top of my head, but I'm just actually no, it's a different feed-in method. I'm just tucking the braiding here like into the braid and continuing the braid, and it doesn't leave a lump or a bump, but it is different from what I've done at the top. But something that I'm not really good at explaining, but if you watch you might get the idea. So yeah, now I'm just braiding out the end, and the braid ended up being like not as long as, but it stopped at the top of my, like right at the bottom, the top of my butt, I would say. So I'm doing the same thing to the next side, adding some edge control down the middle part. And like I mentioned, it's going to help give it like a sleek finished look. It's going to help the hair not be so bulky and easier to braid and blend with the extensions. So I'm going to show you this part again, just in case you missed it the first time. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, and maybe it'll look a little bit different coming from the other side, or maybe it might look a little bit more clear. But like I mentioned, I'm just tucking and pulling the hair back under my index finger, braiding, and then tucking it again. This is the simplest way I know how to do my feed-ins.
Body nice. See, I got them here, them are moving right. See the girls, them I got me hypnotized. Them I make a bad man feel alright. Yeah. Man, I tell her me she go low. Say you gonna get me when I'm on low. Man, I tell her me she go low. Bad man, I put you in a photo. Count down, she a put me on a rundown. Go down, she a give me on a low now. Go now, anywhere you wanna go now. Bad man, me a put you on a first class.
This braid on my left side turned out really nice, and as I was braiding, I remember thinking, like, wow, I think I need to start braiding again. But I have a complex when it comes to doing hair. I don't like to do it when I feel obligated. I like to do it out of the kindness of my heart. That's just me. But yeah, the braid came out very nicely, and you get such a satisfying feeling when you finish your cane roll, because it's kind of a struggle sometimes in terms of making sure that you don't lose your grip, because once you lose your grip, sometimes you have to start all over again. So I'm just using some more edge control, and this is just to finish it off, smooth it out a bit. It gives it shine. And as you can see, there's a little bump here. I wasn't able to tuck everything nice and tightly. So the edge control also helps to fix that as well. So I'm just using it to flatten it down and smooth out the hair on that side and kind of camouflage the loose extra hump I have there. In addition to that, I'm going to add some bobby pins. And the bobby pins is just going to further conceal it, tuck in the hair, make sure that it doesn't stick up again. And it looks as if, nothing went wrong. So it's just a little quick fix that I use to kind of tuck in the extra hair. And they're not bobby pins, they're actually hairpins. So I'm just finishing it off by, adding some more edge control at the front, of course. Just to finish everything off, seal the deal. And the Cream of Nature Edges is one of my favorite edge controls. It's like not too strong and it has a nice scent. Not too firm, I should say. I'm just using now Nairobi Rapid Shine Foaming Lotion to set my braid and just finish everything off. Yeah, so I'm putting that pretty much everywhere, and I'm putting my satin scarf over it just to set it to make sure everything molds nicely. And while I have my scarf on, I did dip the ends of my braids in some hot boiling water, so that just helps it not look so stiff at the end. And I put on some makeup. So this is the finished look. I love my braids. I actually felt so sad that I had to take them out. I did take them out the same day because I wanted to try a different style, but now that I know I can do it, I'm going to definitely refer to this all the time. Yeah, I didn't show you guys the back because I didn't part it straight, but trust and believe the back looks great. It looks as good as the front except for my crooked part, so I didn't include that because I was pretty self-conscious about that. I feel refreshed. I did a great job with my braids, I must say myself. Yeah, so if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.